Switch. Arm circles. Switch. Twists. Hugs. Hips. Switch. Good. Bend your knees slightly, a little wider and shoulder width apart. Hey, Ashley. Hang. Rock slowly back and forth. Got some tight hamstrings today. Feet apart, break at the knees side to side. Point one toe up. Good, walk forward. Hips to the floor. Roll your hips side to side. Walk back and stretch. Walk forward. Roll your hips side to side. Walk back and stretch. Walk forward. Hips. Walk back and stretch. Good. On the floor. Omoplata position. Stretch out over your knee. Check the button. Look, it's on. Switch. Go ahead and leave it unlocked. Switch. Switch. Switch and rock up. Switch. Switch. And switch. Good. Grab your hamstrings, just roll, rock back and forth. A little more on your neck now. Good. Over one shoulder, feet to the floor, push off. Use that momentum to rock all the way up. Opposite shoulder. Focus on staying in a ball and keeping your knees and your elbows together. Good. All right, we're going to mix it up a little bit today. So this time we're going to rock back, okay? We're going to come up in this position, all right? Let's come up high first and really push your hips forward, and then we'll come up low. All right, so we're here. We're going to rotate our feet, switch our hips, come up, really spread your knees apart at the top. This is more of a stretch than function. The next one will be more function. Make sure you're focused on keeping your elbows in. Good. Now we're going to come up low. So your butt is going to stay as close to your bottom heel as possible when you come up. Elbows tight to your body. Good. Good. All right. Now we're going to rock back and hold and come forward and straddle. All right. Let's rock back and hold. Come forward and straddle. Rock back and hold. Forward and straddle. Rock back and hold. Forward and straddle. All right, shrimp. Reverse shrimp. Shrimp. Reverse. Power shrimp. Good. Set up. Post your right hand. Butt scoop forward. Power shrimp. Set up. Post your left hand. Butt scoop forward. Good. Now double back. Good. Alternate forward. Good. All right. Now we're going to shrimp and pummel. Shrimp, pummel, shrimp, pummel. Come up, alternate forward. Now we're going to power shrimp and pummel. Power shrimp and pummel. Power shrimp and pummel. Reverse shrimp back. Good. All right, leg pummeling. Switch directions. Good. Scissor. Good. All right. Standing base. 3 times standing, 3 times kneeling, both sides. Switch sides when you're ready. Good. All right, we're going to shoulder roll into guard. Okay, turtle position, right? Got enough space. My opponent doesn't have like a lock on me that's too tight, okay? So if they're on my right side, I'm posting my left leg, rolling over my shoulder. My hips are going up into their armpit, and I'm doing a Granby style roll, shoulder to shoulder roll to get my head between my legs and up. And do it to the other side. Good. Let me know when you've done it twice on each side. Okay, good. Okay, now basic sit out. Full on turtle position, all the way covered. Okay, I'm popping up, right? I'm posting out my leg, sliding through, turning. Opposite side. Post, slide, turn. Post, slide, turn. Post, slide, turn. Good, now from all fours, same thing. Good, now up on your toes, same thing. Good. Now Granby rolls. Remember, I addressed this last night. We're going more shoulder to shoulder than we are forward rolls. So we're popping up onto all four, crossing our feet, rolling shoulder over shoulder to face our opponent. Do 2 times each side. Stop when you're done. Good. Okay, we're going to do the underhook from side control, getting up to your knees. And we're going to take that single leg. Remember, if my underhook side is my left arm, okay, once I come up to my knees, my head's going to be inside. So I need to step my left leg and roll my head to my left to come out. So to give you a visual of this, come here, Armando. Just get here. Right, so I'm here and I get my bump and I get my underhook and I bump to free my head. Okay, I switch my feet, right? I'm coming up on the inside here. So my left arm was the underhook. Now my left foot steps out. I hit my sit through. All right, so if my right arm's the underhook, my right foot is going to step out. I'm going to be sitting through to my right. All right, let's go 2 times each side. Good. Okay. Forward roll. Somebody's got us a body lock from the back, right? We're going to roll to their leg, right? So I'm rolling through here and down. Let's go 2 times each side. All right, bridging. Down here, right? Just go over each side, redirect your knees, point your knees to the side you're bridging to, and get a nice stretch in your arm. Okay? Now, we're going to bridge up, tuck the elbow in, walk over our shoulder, come up to our knees. The other side. Bridge up, elbow in, walk over our shoulder, come up to our knees. Good. When you've done that 2 times each side, stop. All right. Bump and roll bridge. Right arm hook, right leg hook. Head pendulums left. I'm up over my right shoulder. I'm walking over. Left arm, left leg. Head right, bump. Coming up to my shoulder, walking over. Right, right. Head left, bump. Left, left. Head right, bump. Now armbar escape. Right arm goes, right? I'm up on my head, I'm walking over my left shoulder. So right arm goes, thumb turns out, post up on the head, walk over. Left arm. Left arm goes, thumb turns out, post up on the head, walk over. Back to right. To left. Good. Now we're going to do our high leg spin. Okay. Up over the right shoulder, my left foot touches the ground. I sit through into guard. If I go over the left shoulder, my right leg touches the ground. I sit through to guard. Do that 2 times each side. Good. Inside leg stand up. All fours, body lock from the back. Right? He's on my right side, my right leg stands, my right elbow tucks. I'm here, I'm fighting the hands, I'm tucking the hands, and I'm turning. Making sure that I break the hands open and I keep any hooks from entering into my legs. Left side, left leg up, right? Left elbow in, fighting the hands, tuck, and turn. All right. I meant after that high leg spin to add the reverse shrimp with the high leg spin. So we're going to do that now. We don't cover that every class, but you guys have been at this for a while, so let's go ahead and cover it. Okay? So as a reminder, the practical application of this, the high leg spin is general, is when somebody's going north-south and I want to invert, right? So I'm here, maybe he's going north-south, I get my elbows in to build a frame on his chest, right? The more in my guard I can keep my knees connected to my elbows, the better off I'm going to be. My legs come up. I'm rolling over my right shoulder. This left leg is like the one that's going to the ground. My bottom leg is the one that's sitting through. Okay? Now to add the reverse shrimp, he's not voluntarily going north-south. So I'm making him go north-south. Let's scoot this way a little bit. Right, so I'm here, right? I'm stepping this leg out and I'm moving my hips underneath him here to create this frame and get him into a quasi north-south position. Okay, I'm gonna rock up, this time on my right shoulder, left leg comes across the head, the bottom leg sits through. All right, so when you're doing it by yourself, it looks something like this. Here, leg shrimps out. Oops, I'm sorry, I reverse shrimp to come here, right? I'm up. This time I'm on my right shoulder, so this leg is good. My left leg is going to come over. Let me get it over. Shouldn't have stopped, right? And my right leg goes through. Okay? Let's do it. Another quick thing on that, when you're doing it by yourself, it might get confusing as to like which way you're going to roll depending on which side of their body you're on. They're on, right? So when we start with our leg out, if it's my left leg, that usually means I'm going to roll over my right shoulder. So I bring my hips underneath. I'm rolling over my right shoulder, so my left leg is still the high leg spin. So it's the same leg that's initiating the reverse shrimp. If I go right, that typically means I'm rolling over my left shoulder, right? So my right leg is going to be the one touching the floor on the high leg spin. Got it? Okay. I know it gets a little like confusing without a partner. Even for me, I have to like replay it with a partner to remember which shoulder I need to roll over. All right, let's do, we're going to work on that sit back position. Both of you are pretty well versed in this, so I'm not going to go into details, but it's basically the front headlock from turtle. One arm under the armpit, the other one across your neck. So I'm here like this. I've got the front headlock. First thing I do is defend my neck always. Okay? Front headlock is on the left side of my neck. That means I'm stepping out and swiveling to my left. Okay, head goes to the floor, head comes back to the knee, and I'm sitting back onto my hip. Big mistake people make is they get here and then they try to bring this leg inside and I get stuck. Okay, Mondo, come here. I think you all know this, but I'm just going to show it. Here, go this arm over my neck. So his left arm is over my neck, right? I'm controlling his arm here, trying to prevent the choke. My left leg steps out, my right leg swivels. Now, what a lot of people do, grip on a little tighter, right, is they'll try to set this knee through like this. You kind of get stuck. Rotate your body, Armando. They'll get stuck like here. That's really bad. I don't want to lift my leg up and slide it forward. I want to move the rest of my body back. So I'm stepping up here and I'm moving back to sit on the hip. So now I have plenty of room to get into my guard. Okay, so I'm retreating away from the technique. I'm not sliding my hips into him this time. I'm making him come to where my hips are. All right, let's do it.
So just a quick question. The leg that you post out is the arm that's protecting your neck. I'm just trying to imagine this with somebody here.
Yeah, it's on the same side of the arm that's going across my neck, not the one that's coming under my armpit. Okay, let's go through this closed guard stuff real quick because I know you guys have been to every session on this, so this should be easy. All right, either hands in the armpits, hands controlling the waist, knees tight, tucked unless they open the guard, we widen, right? I shift my body weight to the right so my chest stays underneath my hips. Okay, I don't want to raise my chest forward because then they pull me down to the floor. Okay, so when I shift to the right, see how my chest stays and my left foot comes up. If I come up here, now my chest goes forward, I get to the floor. So that's why we pivot up and then chest above hips here. Okay, from there, we kick, okay, and or we matrix, right? When you do the matrix for real, you would normally throw your hips so far that you fall to your knees because you need to be riding your hips on his hamstrings before you pass. For the purpose of the drill, you know, you can do this if you want to, you know, be dramatic with it, but you're not going to end standing like you will. Their legs will keep you up, but the motion with the hips is super far forward. It's going to feel almost like you shouldn't be shifting your hips that far forward to hit this right. Okay, so let's do 2 reps of that each side. 1 with the kicks at the end, you know, and then 2 sets with the kicks at the end, 2 sets with the matrix at the end. Good. Good. All right. Footwork drills. Roundel pass. Okay. Forward 45 degrees with my right leg. That means my right arm is pushing through. I'm turning sideways. I'm readjusting my feet to knee on belly. Left side, left leg goes 45, left arm pushes through, right? I take a gate step there, readjust my feet to knee on belly. Okay, let's do it. Good. 2 times each side and stop. Okay. Crescent step or question mark step. They can be in seated guard where they're sitting up, or they can be prone, lying down, right? I'm going to side step laterally, so it's not a forward 45. A lateral side step, my leg comes around, knee on belly. To my left. Knee on belly. Okay, let's go. Do the dog pissing on the fire hydrant. Well, it's easy once. It's like, I don't have to explain as much stuff. Feel like a new person jump on all of a sudden. That'll be good for a few weeks when we restart. All right, we forgot the guard pulls from somebody on the side, right? They've got the seatbelt on us, okay? So inside leg up, if they're on the right side, sliding through, or shin against the thigh to create some space and slide through. I recommend always putting that shin in the thigh if you can. It just creates a lot of space and it keeps them from closing that distance and controlling your hips. So let's do that 2 times each side, and then I want you to add the swivel, right? Where you're swiveling your feet if they're a little tighter, bringing that inside knee up, sliding through, okay? Let's go, 2 times each side for each of those, so 8 reps total. All right, just stop when you're done. Okay. Let's go squared stance into staggered stance, working on using your rear arm to reach, right? Switching to your staggered stance. We're going to move through this stuff pretty quick. Okay. Now we're going to down block in the front. We're moving that front leg back, touching that other hand to the ground. Good. Now we're going to do that circle sprawl. Right, when we're here, I'm circling away, switching my stance. Okay, here, circling away. Circling away. Good, now we're going to hit some full sprawls. Good, good. Now we're going to shoot for that single, making sure that our elbows are bent. We're touching our shoulders, right? We're hitting that single leg, keeping that back straight up, rotating out to the double. All right? Then just stand up and go other side. We're going to come nice and low, hit that single leg, keeping your back up, right? They're sprawling a little bit. You rotate the head out to your double. And we're going to spend a lot of more time on the inverted stuff we covered last night. Okay. All right. So think about your head and your spine are really like all your body needs to stay alive, right? Like everything attaches to them. Like your leg, you can do it without your arms. You could theoretically probably live without your rib cage, right? Live without your legs. You can live without your hips. Okay, it wouldn't be a very pleasant existence, but we can all like live without those things. Okay, so in jiu-jitsu in particular, the head and the spine are super important. And we use them in basically like 3 different ways, right? One, we use that rounding of the back, kind of the rocking chair motion is the primary way that we use it. And that's primarily in guard because we want to keep our knees and elbows together at all times, even if we're in turtle. You know, we're keeping our knees and elbows very close together because we want to be a ball, not a board, okay? A ball is really hard to pin down. A board is super easy to flatten out, and you got a lot of space to get in, okay? If I'm like this, it's a lot easier for somebody to pass my guard than if I'm like this, okay? I've got that rocking chair motion. I've got that ability to roll side to side, back and forth, over my shoulder, or come up, all right? So in that way, we're a ball. So we create that rocking chair motion with our spine. The other way we use our spine is in arching our backs, right? That could be an arm bar, okay? A lot of our submissions, we arch the back. When we take somebody's back and we flatten them out, we're arching the back. Many of the leg attacks, we're arching the back. So we've got our rocking chair and our arch are primary. And then finally, like using your head as a 5th limb is primary to the art. You've got to learn to fight with your head, fight for head position, use your head to move their head, use your head to trap their arms, all kinds of stuff that we do with our head that many times we don't even think about when we're doing jiu-jitsu, okay? So we're gonna start with some, last night I started with like a really hard drill. We're gonna build up to that today, all right? What I want you to do first is just sit in the seated position, right? Some people grab their hamstrings at first because it feels comfortable. I like to kind of keep my hands in front like I'm fighting, right? We're gonna tuck our chin and we're just gonna roll up onto our shoulders and then rock back onto our back. So I'm here, right? I'm crossing my feet. I'm rolling up onto my shoulders. And then I'm keeping everything together in this rocking chair position and coming back to my butt. So we're rolling sideways onto our shoulders, keeping everything together, knees and elbows touching, rocking onto my butt. Good. Good. Okay. Let me know when you've done that a couple times each side, right? We'll get back to that. We'll add the around the world drill. But I want to talk a little bit more about like proper rocking position. You know, some people, like if I'm setting like this, my arms are in, right? I'm able to bring my knees back and rock at any point, right? My legs might kick up, they may kick back, but I should be able to go all the way to my neck. If my feet can touch the floor, that's a bonus, and back up to my butt with pretty good ease. So just play around with that rocking chair position a little bit and make sure that you're comfortable going all the way back and back up to your butt, trying to keep your knees and elbows together as much as you can. Your elbows can be in your thighs as well, but as long as they're connected to your leg somehow. That's a frame so they can't get through and past the guard, right? Good. Once you've done that 4 to 6 times, take a break. Okay. Now let's talk about strengthening the neck, and then we'll go back to the around the world position. All right? In wrestling class, they do a great job of this. You're always working on bridging with your neck and head and all that stuff. In jiu-jitsu class, we really don't focus on it a lot. Mr. Tai focuses on it quite a bit in judo, but these are good drills to do at home. You know, there's only so much we can do at class, but a good drill for neck strengthening at home. And you can add to this by talking to Coach Armando or Tai, because Tai will have you like flipping over on your head into like a back bend. But I just want you to start with your head on the floor, knees on the floor, hands on the floor. Just kind of rocking back and forth on your head, getting a stretch in your spine. You can move your head side to side a little bit. Getting a nice stretch in your spine. Next thing we're going to do is our knees are going to come off the floor. Hands are still on the floor. Same thing, forehead on the ground. Kind of working that spinal stretch back and forth. And we can work it a little bit side to side too if you want to strengthen your neck that way. It's not only good for jiu-jitsu, but this is also good for like a blast double in wrestling or even that single leg when you're picking it up and you've got to use your head. Okay? The third level is going up on the toes with no hands. All right? Up on the toes with no hands here like this, working that head back and forth. Side to side if you wish. Really strengthening and increasing the flexibility in your neck. Right? When you get good at this, you'll see a lot of wrestlers and judo people kind of going around the world with it, where they're going from their back arch all the way around to the front. Okay? I mean, Armando can demo that a little bit better than I can, but just these 3 phases are just a good way to kind of warm up your neck and strengthen it. If you want to do the back bending option, that's one. You know, that's another option, right? Where you walk all the way over. You may first just want to try to get good at coming here and bridging up and working your head back and forth as much as possible, right? Strengthening your neck that way and strengthening your back flexibility, okay? If you come to, if you do yoga, you're going to be working on back arches with Rachel, right? It's a very important skill, easy to neglect, right? Like any additional skill is, or any additional conditioning, because it's not always as fun as jiu-jitsu. But getting some basic back arching stretch. I know, Carrie, you were in that class the other day. Ashley, have you done yoga yet? Or Carrie, were you in Tuesday's yoga?
Wrestling is at the same time as yoga, so wrestling obviously.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
So.
Gotcha. But if you do a yoga with Rachel, once we get back open on like a Saturday or something, at least try it once and take those back arching stretches that she does. They're pretty simple. It's 5 minutes as part of the routine. It's a good way to work on your back flexibility. I don't do it as much as I should. Okay? All right. Now let's work on this around the world technique. I didn't do the best job of presenting it last night, so I wanted to start with the other skills first and get you used to being on your shoulders and your neck, and we'll see if we can do a better job today. Okay? So we're starting just like the shoulder to shoulder drill, right? Just watch me. Okay? My chin is tucked, right? I'm up onto my shoulder here like this. I'm rolling up over my right shoulder onto my left. If my feet touch the floor the whole time, that's great. Okay? Now I'm going to come to my knees, onto my forehead. And again, I'm tucking, rolling right shoulder to left. Let's build this, okay? We're going to do this first. All right? This might not be the best angle to see me do it. So I'm going to try it with my head facing you. If that doesn't work, my apologies, but my butt's going to face you. All right? So, I'm here, up like this, okay? First thing I want you to do is just put your left foot on the floor. You can use your left hand to brace your hips if you want. Roll back over your neck. Put your right foot on the floor. Okay, turn your head. Roll back, left. You can use your hands as a buffer. And eventually get to the point where you don't have to use your hand. It's a little more of a side-to-side roll, okay? All right.
I've decided I need a bigger mat.
What's that? Need bigger mats?
Yeah, my feet slide on the tile.
All right, now let's try around the world, okay? So watch me again, right? Same start, but I'm gonna come here and up, onto my right shoulder, over to my left, down to my knees, right? My feet are gonna swivel a little bit here, back down onto my right shoulder, over to my knees. So your head should never come off the ground. Either the back of your neck's on the ground or your forehead's on the ground, right? So I'm here. Like that. Okay, if you've done that a number of times, let's try to go to the left side. Arm up left. Feet down. Swiveling. But first, you're going to use your hands. Ultimately, you get to the point where you don't need to use your hands. which really starts to give your neck that kind of rope-a-dope flexibility, right? So you can invert one way, invert the other. You kind of start to figure out where you are in space underneath there. And with a little head adjustment, you can go one shoulder or the other with your invert. These are great drills to practice consistently now. You won't really use a lot of inverted guard until you're probably like maybe advanced blue or purple belt. But getting used to this skill, because sometimes it really takes years to develop the skill to like be able to get up on those shoulders, and preferably your feet are dragging the floor the whole way. I can't always do it. But John, some of the video series, those movement drills that I posted on YouTube of John, he does a great job with these shoulder-to-shoulder rolls, okay? He technically is the way you should do them. What I'm missing is my feet touching the floor the whole time. But when you're up, see how my toes kind of drag the floor? That's what you want. I'm hit or miss on my ability to do that. Rolling right for me is easier than rolling left for some reason. I didn't get my right leg down. Okay, probably because this big lump of scar tissue I have on my neck on this side. So, all right. So now, let's try to combine these drills a little bit. Okay, and not to mention, like with the shoulder-to-shoulder roll, you know, you can come up. I can go all the way over. You know, I can just switch directions. Okay, so let's go shoulder to shoulder. Let's go the other direction. Good. Let's go putting the head on the floor. At whatever level you're comfortable with here. Rolling out that neck, strengthening the neck. All right, let's get back down. Let's do one more shoulder roll. Let's go into our rocking position. Here. Now you can shoulder roll from here, either back to that head and neck condition drill, or back into the around the world drill. Good. Good. All right. So that's probably the most difficult thing that we'll do in this whole course. All right. It's not easy. Okay. So, you know, if you can start to develop that now while you're kind of young in jiu-jitsu. I never inverted in jiu-jitsu until I was probably a brown belt. Because the jiu-jitsu I grew up with, it really wasn't stressed that much. It really wasn't taught. You know, I had a very good foundation for jiu-jitsu, but it was a very kind of a Gracie self-defense foundation. Not the inverting wasn't really part of that system. I didn't pick up the inverting until I got more involved with boxing. And you know, I'm thankful for it. You didn't I wouldn't intentionally invert the fight, but if I get into a super uncomfortable position where I'm stacked up, I'm much more comfortable getting out of it and having the ability to invert a well. So these will also not only help you with the ability to invert, but the ability to withstand that stacking pressure if you've got a triangle, arm bar, or if somebody's back passing you. It's really going to help you find your way through that a little easier, and you're going to have more success escaping. Okay? All right, any questions? All right, sounds good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lainey. Appreciate it.
Bye. Bye.